Hi there. So, in this video, we're talking about how we are all living in the same, or we exist in the same plane of existence, but we are all experiencing a different reality, or we are all living in a different reality. Now, to explain you that, first of all, I have to go what reality means. Reality is a subjective thing. It's a very subjective thing because every person you see, even animals, everything which exists in this plane of existence have their own reality. And for humans, I can speak because we are so fed by our belief system, social conditioning, religious dogmas, and so many things that we create reality out of those things. And in a way, it's true too. We create reality out of those things. We need things to see reality as they are. We need a certain social conditioning, or the idea of God, or the idea of this or that, or the idea of good and bad, vice and virtues. So I'm not saying those things are bad, but what I'm saying is that there can be a step further than that, or higher than that. It is only achievable when you transcend within yourself, not from the outer source, but from within, right? Now, how can we do that? I've said in so many videos that we need to understand the self, right? Now, how can we understand the self? First of all, I've said in many videos that previously, the who are you and what are you is a difference. So you cannot really know who you are, because who you are is an idea. An idea always changes. The only constant thing in this world is change. Everything changes. Who you think of yourself is an idea, and it will always change. Oh, I think of myself as this, that, and you try to do different things, experiment with yourself, grow out your hair, color your hair, you shave your hair, different things, right? And it's all right until it stays in the realm of ideas. But once that idea transcends into identity, when you make that your whole identity, that's when the problem arises, right? So, for example, there's a guy who is pretending to be spiritual and is wearing different kind of dresses, and is speaking wearing all kind of things, right? I'm not saying the authentic one, but the people who pretend themselves to be spiritual and they talk in a different way. Now, for them, they have to maintain this idea that they are spiritual. They should not be angry. They should not do other things which is outside of what the idea of spirituality looks like, because he or she has taken the identity of what spirituality is, has worn a dress or mask, a physical dress and a dress of ideas, or you can say a mask which you cannot see. A mask they have worn, also called as identity. And okay, who are you? I'm this spiritual guy, I'm this spiritual girl, and this is my whole identity. So even if I want to do something, I cannot, because it goes against my identity. And the worst thing to do is to lie to yourself, right? So authenticity is the highest thing you can vibrate to. And when you cannot be authentic, when you do not do the things you want to do, and you have to make sure the things you do not harm others, then what's the point of calling yourself spiritual? What's the point of wearing spiritual robes and talking in a spiritual way? So my point is not to attack spiritual people directly or indirectly. That's not my point. It was just an example. So what I'm trying to say is that what happens when you identify yourself with something? It's all right to live in ideas. Sometimes you can be whatever you want, but you have to stick on the level of ideas. You don't penetrate ideas into identity. Now, knowing this stuff does not mean what you like and what you don't. Like I've said before, what you like and what you don't like, it always changes through time, because those are ideas, and ideas always change. Now, when you understand these things, and when you transcend into a higher state, and how can you do that is by understanding the self. And whatever you want to call it, spiritual or what, experience is needed. and a knowledge is required. That's the first step, but you need to have an experience, and when you can balance the knowledge and experience and create a wisdom out of it, then you transcend faster, right? It's like when I talk about things, I'm talking from experience, but to the people who are listening, it to them it's just an idea. This might be true, this might not be true too, but if you apply this in your life and you gain an experience out of it, and better when you combine knowledge and experience and create a wisdom out of it, you'll see that it is a fact, not a something belief or other things. So now, to have experience, you don't need to go to mountains, you don't need to go to you don't have to meditate for hours and hours, you don't have to do. All you need to do is start from the basic, one step at a time. What you can do is you can be aware of the self. Now, how can you know yourself? This is how you know yourself. To be aware of the self is to know the self, because all else about the self are ideas. Oh, I am this, I am that, I like this, I wear this dress, this all, I like to do this, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a painter. These are all ideas. Don't attach your ideas with your identities. Don't make them your identity. Now, these are the things you love, which is important for you, for everyone, to vibrate in your highest frequency. For example, to be aware, like for example, I love to sing personally, and when I sing, when I write, I am completely in a flow state. I am completely in a zone. When I sing, the idea of separation, the world in which we exist, the world of duality, right? It ceases to exist. I become the complete non-duality. For example, when I sing, I become so into the singing that there is no separation between the one who's singing and the one which is being sung. You're getting me? I become one with the song itself. I am one. There is no separation. That is me vibrating in my highest frequency. So when I am doing that, there is no doer. There is no one who's singing. Just what exists is the song in itself, and as one. Right? There is no separation. There is no one singing it and not a song that has been sung. There is just a song that exists without any forms, without everything. That is oneness. Right? So that is an example of following your passion, following your highest frequency. So when you're in that state of, in that higher state, when you forget yourself, who you are, when you're singing and there's no separation between you and the thing that has been done, that's actually the highest frequency you can vibrate on. That is your authentic self. And what is difficult is to maintain that for the rest of your life. I know. So you can call that enlightenment. You can call that being in the God state or whatever you want. But it's really difficult to be aware in that state. But what you can be aware of is your emotions. Because most of us suffers with emotions like anger and different things. Like it's only when after we're angry we're like, oh, why was I angry? Now what you can do is, next time when you're angry, I've said this before, but this is the key, guys. This is the key to it. Next time when you're angry, be aware of yourself and ask yourself at the peak when you're angry, try to be aware and ask yourself, why are you angry? Who is the one being angry? What is the reason for anger? You have to self-question yourself. You have to self-inquire. And it's alright to feel anger. You might be like, if I don't become angry, if I all push down my emotions, I cease to be human. It's not about submerging, suppressing your emotions. It's about expressing it beautifully, expressing your emotions gently, gracefully. How can you do that? Is by being aware of it. You can feel your anger, but you cannot be angry. Because by being angry, you destroy everything around you and you destroy the self. Right? Because that's the purpose of anger, to destroy everything into yourself. So you can start from here. I've given you practical methods. Because it's from my experience. I don't give you a theory about, okay, do this and okay, this happens, this, that. No, these are practical things which if you apply in your life, you can transcend into a different state. You become, you are in a different realm. Just think about it. Like when you're angry, you can feel the anger, all the anger, your ego wanting to, express it, to hurt others or to say bad things. But you're just being aware, and you're so aware of it that you transmute your anger into bliss. Isn't that amazing? That's the most beautiful thing one can happen. So we're just afraid of emotions like that. Oh, anger, we should avoid anger, we should not be angry. Oh, lust, this and that. No, it's not about it. It's about embracing everything gracefully and transcending them into oneness, whatever is it. It may be anger, it may be sadness. You do not suppress it. You just be aware of it. And you be aware of it and you embrace it and you transmute that whatever emotions it is into oneness, into the self. Right? I hope you're understanding. And that is a practical example which can happen. The knowledge is this. And the practicality of it might be when you apply this in your life. You might be like, oh, but it takes practice. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 100 times. And when you have mastered this, trust me, your life will be very smooth. You'll just be an observer of everything. You can see other people's emotion. Like when you're angry, what you're doing is if you're shouting at someone, you were calm and somebody came and shouted at you and you shout back at them. Sorry. What you're doing is you are lowering your frequency and vibrating and resonating with them. Right? All of your meditations, all of your pranayams, japas, or whatever you do, chantings, everything is gone in a minute once you are triggered by it. And it's alright, we fail, it's alright. You can fail 100,000 times, but you have to get back up into 100,001 times. Right? That's the key of it. To never give up, to be consistent, to know what you're doing constantly, to be aware of what you are doing. And to realize that everything is oneness. This is all a play and we are playing this and it's all right to play. Right? So and that's it. That's the practicality. An example, the wisdom knowledge which I want to give you, which came from the source itself. I am just a mediator. I'm nobody. The one who's speaking to you is my higher self. I'm just acting as a medium. Right? So that is what you can do. Be aware, and once you understand that, you can transcend into higher that. And when everything is one, why do you need to do other things? Because you are one and all then. But it takes a lot of time, practice, and you need an authentic guru. Guru and teacher are different things. I won't want to explain it right now, but those are different things. You want to have an authentic guru if you want to transcend into higher spiritual things. The things which you read about. If you want to do that, then you need an authentic guru. And it's like very hard. It's like needle in a haystack to find an authentic guru in these days. An haystack of oceans, just one needle in that. So, but if you have this desire, true desire to find a guru, you will. Trust me, you will. You just have, the guru will find you. You don't have to go anywhere, but you have to have that intensity, that desire, that callingness. So that's it. But forget about those higher state. If you cannot control yourself or be aware of the self in here, how can you reach there? It all starts from here. Being aware of your emotions, being aware of everything that's happening, being aware of this play, and to live in ideas and not dive yourself and make an identity of yourself. Right? So that's it. I hope you've understood, and thank you for watching. I hope it helps, and always choose peace of mind over happiness. Bye-bye.